When the Japanese and later the Korean car manufacturers first brought their products into Australia, they started out with small, practical sedans, maybe the occasional hatchback. Kia has now launched a quite different sort of car onto the market. Not savagely different, but different from what they might normally do. It's classified as a large car, long wheelbase, rear-wheel drive. And it has two engines, both turbocharged, a four-cylinder and, top of the range, a twin-turbo V6 engine. Now, there is a worldwide market niche for this type of vehicle, but in Australia they have a special reason for trying to bring this in. The Australians, since the late 40s, have had a passion for large family rear-wheel drive cars. They started out as 6 cylinders, but later in the piece they have got a range of engines, including a V8, which led to great racing on the track in our V8 supercars, which is a bit like NASCAR on normal circuits. So Kia has a chance of coming into this market because the General Motors Holden Commodore and the Ford Falcon are ceasing production. Is there room for a Korean car manufacturer to get into this earthy type of car which can smoke the rear wheels? So, the Kia Stinger, the fastest Kia production car they have built. The 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo engine has 182 kilowatts and 353 newton metres of torque, reaching its peak at just 1400 revs per minute. The twin-turbo 3.3-litre V6 has 272 kilowatts and a very impressive 510 newton metres of torque from a mere 1300 revs. Both are matched to an 8-speed automatic gearbox. The way to tell from the outside, if you have the bigger engine, is that it has Brembo brakes with bright red calipers. Prices in Australia start at $46,000 for the base 4-cylinder and go up to $60,000 for the top spec V6. To these prices you have to add on-road costs. But for all its performance, they say they were inspired in the design by the elegance of the 1970 Grand Tourers. They mention Maserati, whose 4-door quadruporte in the 60s was distinctive, but in the 70s was a bit more boxy. Perhaps they were remembering the 2-door Ghibli of the time. I loved the look of the car from the rear 3/4 angle. It has an elegance along the lines of a Jaguar sedan. From the front it has the common Kia bow tie grille. From the side, with a longish nose on a 4-door car, it has a bit of the Porsche Panamera about it, although the rear is different. Perhaps more like the modern Maserati quadruporte. It has a high waistline, which makes the back a little bulky and reduces the vision through the rear window. There are distinctive design touches, such as the extension of the reflector from the back brake light to the side. It's not bad, although on the bright yellow model, it does get a bit licorice all sorts for my liking. The high waistline means that when you get into the car, you feel like you are sitting down low like a sports car. The dashboard is more horizontal than vertical, adding to the sporty feel. There's a 7-inch screen in the base model and an 8-inch screen in the other specs. It will be classified as a large car in Australia. You can adjust the front seats well back for plenty of room, which immediately compromises the rear seat passengers, which overall is not quite as much space as a family might like. A good sound system, and a better one for the top of the range with many more speakers, including a subwoofer under the seat. The car is a liftback and the rear seats fold down, giving a smidgen over 1,100 litres of space. A range of colours, and I love the fact that metallic paint colours don't cost you any more. Although the 2 pearlescent colours, only available in the top models, are an extra $695. Good safety features, automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring for all the variants except the base version. Shouldn't they be on all models? especially if you're going to sell cars to fleets. And if you get the top-of-the-range GT line in the four-cylinder or the GT for the V6, you get extra things like heads-up display, wireless phone charger, and a 360-degree camera system. One of the reasons Kia is storming up the sales chart in Australia is that they have a 7-year warranty and a 7-year cut-price servicing and road assistance package. Kia's recent growth has been based on its traditional models, but the Stinger is opening new opportunities, as Chief Operating Officer Damien Meredith notes.
Growing the volume of a business is great and it's exciting, but if you can grow the brand with that volume, it adds double to the excitement and double to the pleasure. So we've been given a great opportunity with Stinger, and we believe it can change the whole perception of what and how people think of Kia in Australia. Our focus groups basically said that they still want that ability to drive a performance vehicle that suits the family.
The full interview with Damien, including how his youthful experience are reflected in this car, is available on our website. We have tested the Stinger on the racetrack and in grand touring conditions through the countryside. When we get to the end of the embargo from Kia, we will talk about the performance some more.